Dear colleagues, my name is Angelika Savchuk, and today I'm presented at Wrocław University in Poland. I'm PhD candidate here in Department of Social Communication and Journalism. And for me, it's a big pleasure to present you my topic of dissertation, which sound media and politics in Ukraine, role of traditional media in political communication during presidential campaigns 2004, 2010, 2015 and also 2019. This topic which I want to present you today, the occupation of mass media in Ukraine, involved in my dissertation on the chapter 3, when I will present the role of oligarchs and the role of big richest group which try to controlling the Ukrainian media and also policy context. I want to start from introduction because the contemporary analysis showed that the Ukrainian media system, like the media in Europe and the rest of the world, of course, are undergoing of the process of commercialization, tabloidization, and also concentration of media ownership. What is me? Ukrainian media system just started his own history from 1991, and till today, 29 years, this media system can be described as in media in permanent transition. This aspect tried to research the main scholars as Natalia Rybinska and Daria Orlova and Halina Budiwska. What is specific of Ukraine? However, this concentration of media market. That's why we are choosing this topic, the occupation of mass media in Ukraine. Also, I want to talk about the common characteristics between Ukrainian media system and those European post-communist countries, as Albania, Bulgaria, Montenegro, Romania, Serbia. But with Poland, Hungary, and Czech Republic, we haven't less common characteristics, what's really so interesting, but also situation in Poland with this state medias really can be comparable with Ukrainian media landscape. As a result, most of this private media in Ukraine unable to cut links that make them economically dependent on political interests. But when we are talking about state media, they're trying to fight in with this private medias and with the private interests. What about private medias? When we imagine Ukrainian map of medias, we can deal with the three main channels. It's Inter, 1+1 and Ukraine. And these three of these channels, they are private. And the main business interests are not the oligarchs. They are not trying to protect their own business ideas, but they are trying also to protect their business, like steel, coal, energy, banking, manufacturing, and another spheres. They see media ownership as a means to further their economic interests, their economic privileges, and another. They use this media to gain a political weight in order to influence these decisions. So when for oligarch, just they have some question about some advantages from this media system, they try to do this and try to use this for themselves. As I told previously, Ukrainian media can be described as a media in permanent transition. And first of all, it will be good to present you the common characteristic for this model. Of course, it's not a unique characteristics, but it's really fitting to Ukrainian case. First of all, it's constant economic crisis and non-stability in policy. Also low poverty. Second one, it's low level of education, and because of this, it's like a low journalistic professionality. A small number of international companies, because they are not motivated to finance, to invest in the country, with also in the media system. Another one is politicization of the media by political leaders, also political elites, controlling of media by oligarchs, exactly as is in Ukraine. An oligarchization for in Ukrainian case, it really sounds so phenomenology, because in Central and Eastern Europe we are having no examples with this oligarchization. Also low quality weekly editions, and it's dependent to the journalistic professionality, of course. A lack of objectivity in private and state medias, and lack of activity in opposition political parties. We have so less number of oppositional political parties, and they are not working and co-working with the medias. In this situation, the role of opposition trying to play the private media as opposite to state media. And since 1991, the economic interests of large group, a large rich group, as in oligarchs, have been involved in Ukrainian political transformation, also in Ukrainian media transformation. The most popular media, as I told, concentrated on the hand of oligarchs. And it's really sound like when you have money, you have this prime time in television. What does mean political influence for the oligarchs? For them, it's mean privileges, it's mean advantages, it's mean ownership, and it means some contributes. When we just try to create the media maps of Ukraine, also oligarch maps in Ukraine, we can deal with this important person. First of all, it's Renat Akhmetov, and he is holder of Ukrainian media group with TV channel Ukraine, and he's working with metallurgy, energy, telecommunication, and also real estate. He's the most richest person in Ukraine, and everyone know about his interests, about his protection. And Ukraine, 2 years ago, Ukraine was a state channel, but from 2 years, it's again private channel. Second one, it's Viktor Pinchuk. What is interesting, and he's son-in-law of Leonid Kuchma, our second Ukrainian president, and he is holder of Starlight Media with channels STB, ICTV, New Channel, and another local channels, and he is interested of investments, consulting, and also banking. So on third position, we are dealing with Ihor Kolomoisky, and he was a big owner of last presidential campaign of Volodymyr Zelensky. He is holder of 1+1 media group with channels 1+1, 2+2, TED, and another also local channel. And his main interest is oil, banking, and metallurgy. But from the last year, also the political areas. What's interesting, before Volodymyr Zelensky became the president of Ukraine, he haven't assessment to come to Ukraine. But from this time, from March to 2019, he can this permission, and he come to Ukraine when he just want. On the fourth position is Petro Poroshenko, and it's not how to say, it's not a problem that he was a president also of Ukraine, and he's dealing with the fifth channel, his private channel, and during the presidential campaign this channel was so famous and promoted so much interests. And he's working with agriculture, confectionery, insurance, banking also, and food manufacturing. And Dmytro Firtash, the last one, oligarch, and the last one, holder of a big media group Inter. And what I want to add about this media group, that almost it's a Russian group, almost it's Russian speaking channel, and so less programs and so less movies here, just in Ukrainian. And this channel is so famous and important on the western part of Ukraine, near Russian Federation. And Dmytro Firtash dealing with chemical industry, energy, also banking and agriculture. This map of oligarchs and map of medias in Ukraine, they are co-working, and we can talking about causal relationship between them. I want to add a few words about the role of television and social media in Ukraine. Television has played a crucial role in Ukrainian society since 1990s. And 89% people of in Ukraine, they are join television. They have television in their homes, and every time they scroll in this TV and look in some good programs. Also, they are trying to create their own lines for Ukrainians. So let's say in the western part of Ukraine, so popular Inter TV channel. In the east part and in the central part, it's Ukraine and also 1+1. What about the role of social media? From today, in the higher position, it's Facebook. 5 years ago, it was ВКонтакте. It's Russian media, social media in contact, and also Одноклассники as classmates. From today, this social media, we haven't access in Ukraine to these medias, but in Poland here as well we can use it, but I'm not using from the 5 years. And media during the presidential campaign, here we are dealing with Volodymyr Zelensky as a new person in Ukrainian political narration. And he is Ukrainian, of course. He is mainly Russian-speaking public and political activist. He is producer and screenwriter, and he was also former of Quarter 95 Studios. It's a big TV group of different programs. They have some movies as The Servant of People. Also, they have some cartoons as the Magical Rus. And before he started to create in his political portrait, he was just a simple showman. But they tried to also showed Ukrainian history, Ukrainian culture on the skin, and when he tried to be like a candidate, it was the 1st of January 2019. All Ukrainian generation was really shocked because he had no political education and also no political experience. But now he is president of Ukraine, and everyone knows the main role on his presidential campaign played television. And every evening, all of Ukrainians, they are watching, they are scrolling, and they observe and what will be again. The media really is playing a crucial role in traditional in political context in Ukraine. And today, and it's higher and higher position of these private channels, and that's why we can talk about media occupation. When we can conclude everything, and when we can go to the conclusion, I want to add that media and politics in Ukraine, it is a new topic in modern science. Occupation of media, it's also the new topic which can show to us how is co-working oligarchs and media, how is co-working media and policy, media and politics in contemporary times. The using of media by oligarchs just promote their own interest. Oligarchs and politicians, also politician oligarchs, as Petro Poroshenko, trying to create government in which they can manipulating, and media it's a simple thing to manipulate of the people's minds. As for Ukraine, it is a really long process of transformation, not only in policy but also in media narration. And nowadays, these groups are playing a crucial role in political life, and they trying to create something like a media bubble for Ukrainians. Thanks a lot for your attention, and just when you have some question, you can contact with me.